Hi everybody! In this video, I'm going to show you how to add conditional activity restrictions to any of your activities within your Pluto course. Conditional activities enable you to restrict access to activities based on certain conditions, such as date, a relative date, a grade if you're using grades, or based on the completion of prior activities, or even a set of activities. Restrictions can be used creatively in numerous ways, for example, to build a flow for self-paced learners, or if you'd like to add supplementary information to a learner not achieving the results they require, or maybe you have different groups of end users within a single course and you'd like to show group-specific content. You could not choose, or you could choose rather to not use these restrictions at all. Choice is completely yours. So for this example, what I'm going to do is I'm going to demonstrate how you can restrict the second activity by the completion of the first activity. Now we can see that in order for the first activity to be completed by the system, it needs to be viewed by the end user because it is a page with information. There's no action required other than just viewing the page. So what we're going to want to do to restrict the second activity is hit Edit Settings. And once we're in the settings, we can see we can edit the page content, or we can go to some of the settings down below and click on the restrict access button over here. And then we can click on add restriction. And a range of restrictions come up that we can choose from to restrict our content, or these conditions can basically make our content unavailable until they are achieved. In this case, we're going to go select activity completion. And what we're going to do is we can either select the first option here that says previous activity with completion, or for the purpose of this, I'm going to choose the actual page, and that happens to be this. And then it will say must be marked complete. We can either decide to show this page to the end user but not have them able to click on it or engage with the content until they've met the criteria, or we can click this I button over here, which makes it completely hidden from the end user, and they'll only see it once they have completed the above page. If I clicked on save and return to course, I will notice that my second activity now says restricted. It's also grayed out, and it says not available unless learning and development introduction is marked complete and it is hidden otherwise. The next activity I'm going to show you in order to restrict is I'm going to go ahead and restrict a topic, and we're going to go or module, and I'm going to go ahead and hit this edit button and edit module. In this case, we have the certificate that we are restricting. So I'm going to go ahead and say restrict access. I'm going to hit add restriction. I'm going to pretend like I used some grades in the assessments that I created up above. And in this case, I'm going to select grade. I'm going to go ahead and say course total. And it needs to be 80% or equal to or above 80%. I'm going to go ahead and say save changes. I'm going to leave it open this time, and it will say restricted, not available unless you achieve the required score in the course total. What I'm going to demonstrate now is just what it looks like from the end user's point of view. So I'm going to go ahead and put on an incognito tab on the screen and just refresh that quickly. Fantastic. And if I clicked on module 1, remember that we restricted the activity number 2, which happened to be the video, by the first activity over here. And we can see with the end user that the second activity isn't viewable. But if I were to click on the first activity, thus viewing it and completing it, once I scroll down, I will notice that I am able to interact with the video. And if I went to course home, I will also notice that I've completed a bit of the module's progress. I have viewed the first page, and that unlocks the second page based on the criteria.